This is Outnumbered. I'm Andrea Tanteros, and here today, Sandra Smith, Ainsley Earhart, Jedediah Bila, and today's hashtag one.
The role I was born to play.
And we have a segment
being surrounded.
I do. Man, oh man.
And Geraldo, we have a segment on mustaches today.
That's perfect.
Facial
There
hair.
you go.
Perfect.
Thank you, Ainsley.
Just
Thank you.
for you, we program special.
I appreciate it.
But also, we're going to get right into this Gaza and Israel, this
terrible
conflict,
situation.
which you've spent some time in the region, so we'll be looking for you to weigh in. Violence resuming on Fox News. He said, look, we've offered a ceasefire 5 times. It's been rejected by Hamas. And he's fighting. They, of course, are aligned with Hamas.
And we're possibly going to get some sort of announcement, as our ground reporter, John Huddy's been reporting.
Ainsley, this seems like an opportunity, though, for the Israelis to take out a lot of these tunnels, Hamas, if it wanted to. So Hamas's best bet right now is to try and get more support, to put more pressure on Israel, maybe some kind of pressure like Geraldo was explaining.
I see that, except I think that the fault. But do you think he plays a role here in terms of not being as proactive, as Geraldo was saying in the former segment, in terms of not being ahead of the game and taking a leadership position and saying, America's the leader of the free world. We need to do something first, and the Europeans may follow.
And they would follow if he was making a strong and compelling case for stricter sanctions. But the European Union knows that the United States wants to lead from behind and take this type of mentality. The Germans, they don't want tougher sanctions. I mean, it's tough really to rally the EU. And similarly, Jedediah, both the Americans and the Europeans have tossed away and slimmed down their defense budgets in favor of a welfare state. So you really do need both parties. I do agree with Madeleine Albright that the EU does need to step up, but they need to know that the United States is with them on this to work together, and they don't. They don't. So there's no reason for them to flex their muscles when we're, once again, not getting involved.
Now, Geraldo, there's been a lot of talk about sanctions in the same way there was a lot of talk about a red line in Syria. This administration...
What about our country? Our country needs to step up. Our president... Reasonably so, Andrea. You know, with the decline in home values, which is typically a household's largest asset, aren't we seeing mom and pop, those the middle income investors, why are they not putting that money in the stock market? It's because they still are seeing their household net worth down. They're still fearing losing their job or possibly still out of one.
Yeah, it's beneficial, the stock market going up, for those of us who were lucky enough to survive 2008 and have a 401k. We're seeing our 401k skyrocket, which is absolutely great. But the problem is this administration, there's just so little job growth, and there's no incentive to go and get a job, because if you are unemployed, there's an extension of unemployment benefits, you have Obamacare, you have a record number of people on food stamps. So I feel like the message that the administration is sending is, you don't have to do as much because I'll do more for you. So therefore, you don't need to find a job. We'll take care of you as a country. And we're seeing that with the illegal immigrants. Come to our country, we'll take care of you.
But bottom line, you know, Jedediah, this...
Can Republicans come out and do? What can people who are pro-growth...
Jobs. % corporate tax rate, and it's difficult here right now. But going back to the, you know, middle America, they're still struggling, and their overall household net worth continues to go down, while the top 5%, their income, their overall household wealth is up 14% over the same period of time. So the rich getting richer, and you know, really, where are people getting picked on the most?
As will be in this midterm election, Republicans must break out of the stereotype of wage. It has to be raised immediately.
Geraldo,
it has to be, it has to be raised immediately. It's not small ball if you're working in Wendy. That if the president does, Andrea, act with an executive order.
Jedediah, what happens after the hearing? It sounds like President Obama wants to give these illegal immigrants legal status. 90,000. I mean, thousands of them. And this is just going to have more come over if he does these executive orders.
First off, we need to figure out who's a refugee. Not everybody's a refugee.
That's why you need to hear
that we need to handle first. Secondly,
send their illegal immigrants that are here in our country illegally to take them back home and make sure they're...
Like, you're not prioritizing the people that are here. A lot of Americans are struggling when it comes to jobs, when it comes to crime, when it comes to a lot of issues. People are going to say,
you know I love you. But they were saying we can't...
This is a situation where you have to remember how this country was founded on
the broad
back of immigrants.
As a nation
there were no immigration laws in the 19th century.
But we are a nation of laws. does. Anyone in these
Optimism isn't grounded in reality.
The church is a wonderful agency and deeply engaged.
All right.
Know that he actually meant it in that way. I think overall he was saying to his family, let's keep things cool, calm, collected so that things never come to a pitch like that. I don't know, Geraldo seems to be looking off into space as I say this because he's I'm not making excuses for him. I'm not at all. But sometimes I think as a commentator in the heat of the moment or on live television, some things can happen.
Some things come across. You don't want them to come across that way.
As I recall, Sandra, your initial remarks.
The girls
Andrea, so Stephen A. Smith says this.
There's an issue with that too, because
mean it, and as Andrea is saying, he repeated it. So I don't think in this case.
But I don't know, Jada Pinkett Smith, and
reaction, but I think essentially.
Wow.
There
it's
you
really
go.
held up the test of time.
And I ran into Tom Selleck recently at a New York restaurant, and we compared mustache.
Yeah, great
You think you have a better mustache than Selleck?
I personally do, but you know, I'm sure he has his fans.
Yeah.
But I think that your viewers could vote.
What makes your stash better than his stash?
I think that